We now have another youth of our Samithi sharing her thoughts on reading books. Aishwarya Sairam has completed her B.Tech in Cybersecurity from the Amrita Coimbatore. Recently, she joined Honeywell Technology Solutions as a cyber engineer and architect. She came to Swami's loving fold as a Balvikas student from SSSG's Oman and is now an alumni. She has been instrumental in bringing her parents into Swami's fold. I now request Aishwarya Sairam to take over.
Sairam, everybody. My most humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. It is a beautiful day today, and I am really thankful to Swami for this amazing opportunity that we have all gathered here for the inauguration. I've been asked to talk about the importance of reading books, but I'll come to that in a second. My earliest and one of my best memories of my childhood is listening to my grandmother's bedtime stories. She is sitting right here, and she also remembers that I still ask her for those stories. Because one main thing is that she doesn't hesitate to make me cry, to make me angry, to make me feel horror or terrified of certain stories. But I later realized that feeling these emotions in a very strong way is how I really widened my perspective, my knowledge, my empathy and my compassion towards other people's opinions, other people's knowledge, etc. Hearing these stories has been the pivotal point in inculcating that interest in me to read further. Because I then also joined Balvikas, and one of the main 5 points of Balvikas is narrating stories to the children. The best way you can imbibe values into a children is by telling them the stories. Every time I participated in any Balvikas competition, one of the main gifts that they would give would be Swami's Gnankalasam books. That is how I eventually began this path of moral education. Through these small, really interesting, eye-catching stories that you don't need to actually put in effort into thinking and understanding, because it happens very naturally to you with these stories. That is one main thing. Swami's Gnankalasam stories, summer showers of Swami, and that is how you eventually inculcate the habit of reading into children through small, sweet moral stories. Eventually, I also grew up, and my school education made it compulsory to borrow a library book per week, and we had a lot of, I'm sure you know, Amar Chitra Katha stories where they tell Puranas, they tell the Itihasas, that is through comics, through illustrations. This also gave me an opportunity to listen to the same stories but through different perspectives. That is how even Swami brings our attention to our Puranas. We all know Ramayana, but when we listen to Ramakatha Rasavahini, we are able to understand it in a different way. Swami has brought light into some characters that are not really given the spotlight in Ramayana. He has talked about Mandavi, Shuddhakirti. He has talked about Lakshmana, Shatrughna, not as much as we have already been aware of. So reading, I would say, is one amazing way to widen your spiritual lens. To think about certain things in a way that it might have not struck with you. And it also ensures that your creativity is not narrowed down, it's not stuck between 4 walls. The only way you can develop it is by understanding, reading and adding to your vocabulary. Now, since I am a Balvikas student, I have been given numerous opportunities to showcase how much I have read and understood Swami's literature. In SSSGC Oman, they have a magazine called Inspiring Hearts, where it is mandatory for a Balvikas student to publish an article per month. So with Swami's grace, I've had the immense opportunity of my article being published in the magazines as well. And that only happened because I read Sai literature. I listened to my guru's narration. I listened to my guru's recommendation of Gnankalasam, summer showers, and much more, all of Swami's literature, Swami's discourses and stories. This has also been a key point in when it comes to preparing for programs like Ishwarama Day, Swami's birthday, where they put out skits for us to enact. Dialogue writing is one of the main things I've participated in for drama preparation for Swami's birthday. Where we put plays from different Puranas. Even we also enacted Swami's own skit where he wrote, which is Cheppinattu Chestava. I've also listened and seen how they write dialogues and how they try to convey these messages of Swami in a really eye-catching and open-minded way, where you do not need to think that much. And if you want to take in some messages without thinking that much, using the appropriate words is very important. And to use those appropriate words, you need to read a lot. Using Swami's vocabulary to convey Swami's love, you need to use Swami's words. So to use Swami's words, you need to know what he has written. And the best way to know what he has written is to read his literature. That being said, I can involve a lot of psychological factors in reading. I can involve a lot of scientific articles in this. But I just say that there is a very famous author called George R.R. Martin. I'm sure you have heard of him. He said that a reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies, and a non-reader only lives one. What does he mean by this? Any idea?
He's possibly experiencing others' experience.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's living in different characters.
Characters.
Yes.
Characteristics.
Exactly. Whenever you read a story, whenever you narrate a story from the beginning of a child's life, the child goes through the ability to live so many different lives, make so many different connections, and that is how a child forms a spiritual bond with God. Understanding God in different ways, because God is not limited to one concept. He is everything, and it's difficult to understand everything. So the only way you can do is by reading different perspectives. That is why in Buddhism, Jataka Tales is very famous. Jataka Tales is the different stories of Buddha's previous lives. So if you read it, you will know that in each of his life, he's faced some turmoil. Before becoming Buddha, he had to go through so many different lives, so many different turmoils. And all those are written as stories and are presented to you as Jataka Tales. This is how you know that every time you read a story, it could be you. This is how you know that this is how you put yourself in other people's shoes. Giving you a sense of empathy, compassion, extending to not only humans but to animals, birds, all species. And that I would say that this is what Swami would expect of us, to be empathetic, to be compassionate, and to be understanding of other people. And his main word is, even if you can't oblige, you must always speak obligingly. And to speak obligingly, you must be able to understand other people. And I feel like reading Sai literature, reading Swami's messages is the best way to understand life and world itself. So that would be the importance of reading, in my opinion. So Sai.
Just before Pavana continues, I just want to place on record here. How long you would have taken to prepare this speech? This morning, 8 o'clock,